The right decision? In May 1985, two climbers, Joe Simpson and Simon Yates, left their base camp by a lake and started climbing the north face of a mountain called Ciudad Grande in the Peruvian Andes. This climb was incredibly dangerous, but the two men were experienced climbers and physically fit. On day first, the weather was good and the climb began well. At night, they made a snow cave and slept on the side of the mountain. 3 days later, after some very difficult climbing and bad weather, the two men stood at a summit. Unfortunately, the weather was getting worse, so they didn't stay long. As they were going down a mountain ridge, a disaster happened. Simpson fell and broke his knee. Quickly, Yates tied a rope to himself and then to his friend. He began lowering Simpson down the mountain, and for hours and hours, Yates helped Simpson get down the mountain. They were getting close to the glacier at the bottom of the mountain, but suddenly Simpson slipped. This time, he went over the edge of a cliff. He was hanging in mid-air. Simpson shouted up to Yates, but the wind was blowing loudly, and Yates couldn't hear him. Yates didn't know what was happening below. He waited for an hour, but the rope was too heavy, and it was pulling Yates down the mountain towards the cliff. He had two choices: hold the rope, but then both of them might die, or cut the rope and survive. It was an impossible decision for Yates, but at the last second, Yates cut the rope and saved himself. Immediately, Simpson fell 30 meters into a crevasse. The next day, while Yates was desperately looking for Simpson, he found the crevasse. He called for Simpson, but he heard nothing. Sadly, he decided that Simpson was dead. Yates didn't know it, but Simpson was, unbelievably, still alive inside the crevasse. Simpson waited for hours, but when he realized Yates wasn't coming, he decided to take a risk. He had some rope, so he abseiled to the bottom of the crevasse. He managed to find a way out. For 3 days, Simpson drank water from the snow and ice. He crawled back towards the base camp, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon of day 7, Simpson was very near. In the middle of that night, Yates was sleeping in his tent at base camp when he woke up. He was sure someone was shouting his name. Excitedly, he ran outside and looked around. Finally, after searching and searching, he found Simpson. He was lying on the ground, not moving, but he was still breathing. After a few days, the two men returned home and their story became famous. Unfairly, some climbers criticized Yates for cutting the rope. But in 1988, Simpson wrote a book about the events and defended Yates. Simpson believed Yates made the right decision.